What's up? What's up? What's up, social media family? It's your boy, big brother, little brother. It just depends on the situation, but it's your boy, Noble Alexander in the building. How's everybody? How's everybody doing? Y'all know how we do this. First and foremost, before we start, we want to open up by saying, Hotep, Shalom, Salam Alaikum, peace and blessings. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to another episode, another edition of I will slap the sense into you. Full disclosure, this is not a slap of disrespect. All right, this is not a slap of disrespect. All right, we just here to slap some sense into you because your pineal gland might be a little calcified. It might be a little calcified and you might need some help, okay? So, with that being said, don't take these slaps personal. It's all out of love coming from your family, coming from a brother, and that's just how we going to do that there. All right. So, tonight's episode is Traveler, the travels. The title is The Travels of a Traveler. Okay, once again, The Travels of a Traveler. So we're going to jump right into this, right? So let me ask you guys this. I know a lot of people, when they travel, they want to go to Europe, and that's cool. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people, who may want to go to the Caribbean and go to Mexico, and that's all great. Those are all great places to travel. But have you ever thought about going to Africa? Have you been to Africa? What do you think about going to Africa? Hopefully with this conversation tonight, if you thought about going, it'll really help you motivate to go even more. If you haven't thought about it, maybe this will help you think about going. We got a guest on the platform tonight. Okay. And this brother is currently doing his thing in Africa right now. He's been, traveling through several countries in the continent, and we're not ignorant on this show. We know the difference between a continent and a country, okay? And Africa is the continent, all right? So we're not, come here. We're not fools over here, all right? We're not fools over here, but this brother is on a path right now, and so we're gonna get ready to bring him up, and it is a privilege and an honor to have him to come be a part of this show again. So let me introduce none other than the most puissant sovereign Grand Commander of John G. Jones Grand Lodge in California. Okay, and he is none other than the illustrious, honorable Brother Tony Muhammad. Brother Tony
What's up,
Muhammad.
dude? You know what time it is, but that's okay. That's all right. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
I know it's you on a whole different time zone. I already know. I already know.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, so before we get started, I want to thank you for coming on to the platform. I know you're a busy man. You got a lot going on. And so I definitely want to thank you for coming on and squeezing me into your days of travel and stuff like that. So thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into the conversation. So the title is the title of this episode is called The Travels of a Traveler. And so this is definitely about you and what you're experiencing thus far in your journey through Africa. So if you want to, tell everybody who you are, kind of opens you up. But let's go ahead and get into the conversation. What's going on? Where you been? How is it?
All right, so I'm gonna help you out. You did a good job, but I'm gonna help you out a little bit. So you're right. My title is the Sovereign Grand Commander for United Supreme Council for the Western Masonic Jurisdiction. Period. I am a member of the Most Worshipful John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California. Honorable Calvin Sanders, Grand Master State. We all clear on that. We good. Thank you. I appreciate that introduction.
Yes, sir.
Now, in regards to traveling, um, I'm over here on the continent. So far, it's been great. I've opened my eyes to a lot of different things. and into the culture and people for the length of time I've been over here. Everyone over here speaks more than one language. So I love it. I love it. And when they're looking at me, they're like, brother, what language, other language you speak? No, I only got one. I do feel a little tad bit embarrassed because although I'm traveling with a group of 51 of us, everyone that we run into is speaking 2 and 3 languages. Everyone. And
Wow.
then for us, when we visited schools, which we did do, we visited the school, we brought books, we brought uniforms for the students. We also had a well for them to have clean water. We had that done. I'm going to go step by step because there are 3 countries that we're visiting. First, I'm going to start with Benin. Benin. We went to visit that country, and I will tell you this: it is a city on the river. It's the city. It's like it's not a swamp. Some would call it a swamp, but I'm not going to call it that. The water's about maybe 6 feet deep, maybe, or probably a little less. But all the homes are on the water. All of them. It's a city of 55,000 people. The story says that when the slaves capture came, when the slave captors came, the natives fled to the waters because they felt safe and they felt that they can defend themselves on the water better than they can on land. And that they did. And they never left the water. So all the homes are on the water. The hotel is on the water. And man, they really welcomed us when we came. They put a boat show on for us. The guys came out and on the canoes, and man, they really put a show on for us. That was beautiful. And that is where I met my first traveling Mason, who was a part of the Grand Lodge of Bedin. And that was interesting because he spoke broken English, but I had my cap on, and he was like pointing, me too, me too. And I'm like, yeah, me too, me too. That was funny. And then he came close, he pointed up and hat, me too. And I'm like, oh, you Mason. Me, yeah, me. And we gripped it up. And I would say this, that shit don't change. They may do a little something different, but you know. And so we went, we broke bread, we ate at their place of venue, and it was on the waters, and it was beautiful, man. I mean, uh, the simplest things in life is what matter the most, and it's a privilege to have a cell phone. Everybody don't have a cell phone. I had an
So
opportunity. Go ahead.
no. I didn't mean to cut you off. So you said this is Medine?
Yes,
Is that a city or is that a name of a?
that's the country.
Okay. Is this on the west? This is on the west coast of Africa.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Trust me. I was like that too. I was like that too, bro.
Okay.
And I had a
So
chance to play
how was the
mom.
food in Medine?
Oh man, look, it's very close to what we eat.
Okay.
They say, you want any yams? Now look, I'm from Mississippi. You said yams. I'm like, yeah, but it ain't the same.
Wait.
Yeah. You want some yams? Yes. Give me some yams. But they ain't the same yams you thinking.
I was
They
about
are
to say.
yams, right?
Right.
So their yams are white, almost like a sweet potato, but they're yams. And uh, um, the difference is that they do what we do with the yams. They bake them, or they fry them. They do a lot of different things with the yams too. So I had some yams. I had some goat. I had some
Okay.
goat. I had some
Okay.
goat. Goat Mathay, man. Goat tastes like ham hock.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm up from the south, so I'm trying to get this food
Oh, that
tasting
goat,
thing
huh? Where
going.
my Caribbean people at? What's up with that goat curry, man? That curry goat. Was
Man,
it
look,
curry? Was it goat curry?
no, it was goat. It was
He said,
wasn't
no, it
no
was
curry
goat.
in this.
He said, "No, it was gold."
It was go, bro. Look, I started mixing and dabbling, and they was looking at me like, "You messing it up." I'm like, "No, I'm fixing it up for me." Man, I'm putting everything on that goat, and hey, it was good. I can't lie. It was good. It was good to me. Okay,
Right,
it was good to me.
right.
But the people, man, the people really treated me well, and I loved it. I'm gonna bring back. I brought a bottle of how would I say it? I brought back something for the Oasis.
Okay.
You remember when you came to my house, right?
Yeah,
And you left that package, right?
yeah.
I brought back a package that we can share.
Okay, okay.
But they said I have to wait 6 months. Let me see. But I'm gonna wait close to it. But I'm gonna see can I make it happen before then. So I did bring that back. I did bring
Okay.
that back.
Okay.
But yeah,
Nice.
so but other than that, man, that spot was nice. The brother of the craft that I met there, his English was broken, but we was able to actually have a conversation. And I learned that the Grand Lodges over in Africa, such as Nigeria, the Grand Lodge of Nigeria, the Grand Lodge of Benin, the Grand Lodge of Ghana, they all come up under the Grand Lodge of England. They're all a subject to the Grand Lodge of England. Although they may elect their own Grand Master, they're all subject to
Hmm.
the Grand Lodge of England. I learned that, and I was like, that sounds like the National Grand Lodge. So their structure for them and the way the National Grand Lodge here is structured is pretty much the same from having this conversation with this particular brother. And he and I took pictures. So about we did that. But yeah, that was a blessing too.
So, okay, so now tell us about the city life. Tell us about
Oh,
because over here you have a lot of people. When they think of Africa, they want to think of some National Geographics type of stuff. The people running around naked or
I got
fleas and
video.
huh?
I got video.
Like,
Woo!
I'm just go ahead and share that type of experience. Did they have urban communities, and how did those urban communities look compared to ours?
Look, they got the city life going on, but I'll tell you this: when you are driving on their freeway, there is no signal. Let me get over. None of that. Okay. People are walking on the freeway like they walk on the street. People are crossing the freeway like they cross the freak. Remember that game you play called Froggy? You hopping, you trying to get across the freeway. People
Yeah.
are actually doing that. Okay,
Wow.
so and they
Yeah, we
ain't
could never do that
flinching,
out here. Uh-uh.
bruh. They ain't flinching. They ain't like, oh, they ain't flinching. They like, hey, hey,
They just
oh my
mobbing on the freeway. They just mobbing on the
God,
freeway.
bruh.
Wow.
And they got the package. You see them walking around with the stuff on their head. The big, how they like if they got a suitcase, well, however,
Okay.
no disrespect to the people, but man, they got stuff on their head and they balancing. They walking on the freeway, like yeah, okay, and they ain't like they ain't flinching, they ain't moving, So everybody working, and everybody is working. Period.
It
I seen a
sounds
lady.
uh
We was on the bus. I saw a lady sweeping on the freeway. And I asked her, I said, why? She said, man, everybody got to work. She
what
said,
was she
everybody work.
what was she sweeping though?
Dirt, bruh. She was making sure the freeway was clean. And the freeway is clean.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Was that her job?
That was her thing. She had the yellow jacket on. Look, Ocean would have a field day. It wasn't no safety helmet. I done spoke to you, bro. Look, no safety helmet, just the yellow jacket
Damn.
with the skirt on, with the sandals, sweeping. Yeah, the bus going 65, 70. Whoa, she's still sweeping, And people, this is every day. This is in Nigeria, and man, the club. Oh my God, yeah. Those things don't close. We was we was at a spot, man. The club it's a Tuesday, and the club then closed at 4 in the morning on a Tuesday. I'm like, God, don't they have to work? And they do. But the club was bumping.
Hey, so the club is cracking. So I mean, what they drinking on? They got the Don Julio, they got the Hennessy, or they got their own stuff.
Everything you got, they got.
Okay.
Let me tell you this: there's two classes over there: the haves and the have-nots. That's it.
He said, "That's it."
There- there's no middle class. There's like, oh, we coming. No, you either got it or you don't have it. They got the Mercedes, they got the Bentleys, they got all of that.
Okay.
But either you have it or you don't have it. Plain and simple.
Yeah, that's good to know because again, it'd be a lot of people be acting like Africa is just poor and destitute of things.
Bro, look, you know how they dig for the cobalt, right? The stuff that go into electrical cars, you know how they say they go over there and dig for it? Man, look, we going to a resort. And the tour guide said, look on the side of the road. You see that goldish looking stuff? That's the cobalt that they love to dig for. The shit you ain't got to dig for. You just go on the side of the road and just pick it. I'm like, he's like, yeah, we just don't have the trucks and the equipment to get it, but we have it. And yeah, are they behind in times on certain things? Yeah, they are. Let's just face it.
And this is in Nigeria?
This is Nigeria. But however, it's a village, bro. They on top of each other. It's a whole village. Now, if you want to move on like on the outside a little bit, like what we call suburban, that's a little bit better. It is because it's more fashionable. The homes are better. Everything. But if you're in the city, it's a village. Everybody on top of each other. I mean, but you know what I love? Everything black.
Everything black.
Everything black, baby. Everything black.
Let me ask the obvious. What about the popo? Is the popo black? Where the popo
at?
Everything black.
Everything. Look,
I guess there ain't no racial profiling there. Huh?
No, that ain't happening, brother. That ain't happening.
That ain't happening.
I did see the police pull over somebody. And I wonder what law did they break because, brother, there's no, you have to be skilled to drive over there. And really, I'm talking serious. You ain't like, oh, let me pull over. Everybody got a horn and they own it. Everybody is on it. If a person has ever been to Nigeria and they'll tell you everybody has a horn, everybody's blowing their horn, they will pull over no matter where they at. They pick up people on the side of the freeway and get on these little buses and take off. Okay. Real talk. So it's a system, man. They got a system that works for them. And who am I to tell you, oh no, it doesn't work for me. If you was there and you talking about you want to live there, you will have to engage in understanding how they operate. And this is their system. I enjoyed it. And I love the people there, man. And you can tell what part of the country, you can tell what country you in because of how people react. You can actually do that. And the people in Nigeria, they all about the money. They ain't playing. And like the man told me, money flows here. That motherfucker came up. I needed to exchange the money. Right? But I didn't want to pay him for the exchange in the money. He looked at me like, no, money flows here. This motherfucker pulled out 2 wads. He had a wad of their money and a wad of US. All 100. He's a money exchanger. He was like, no, sir. Money flows here. It's not an issue. You don't want to do business? It's okay. It's okay. No problem. No problem. Money flows here. I'm like,
you had me laughing when you tell me the story where you said you gave a man $500 and he gave you back $600,000.
I took pictures. I ain't gonna lie. So when we went to do the money exchange, they was like, well, how much do you want? I was like, well, I'm here. So I figured, I got American money. It'll probably do me a little justice to get $500. That'll probably take me for a couple of days, probably, because we was at a resort, so we ate good. We doing our thing. And so with that being said, I gave the guy 500. He brought me back 600,000. Yeah, kind of.
I mean, what did he have it in a briefcase or something? Like,
Bro, look, I'm telling you, it's a whole other world,
I'm
bro.
just saying, you give you 500, he come back with 600 bands. I mean, good grief.
Hey, bro, it's rap. Look, it's rap too. It ain't like it's just no, it's rap. It's thousands and 500s. They got it rap, man. So I took pictures with two bands on the side of my head like this, right? And then I took another picture, two and one in my lap. So I got this thing here, man. So yeah, it's done. Hey, can I hold you on for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead. Yeah, we're going to continue this conversation. I hope y'all I hope y'all listening in, right? I think this is a great informational piece to get some information about, some kind of what's going on over there and get it word of mouth and not, listen to CNN or anybody else tell you. So I think when you get those type of travel experiences, and it's always good for the soul, but this 600,000, he said he gave him 500 US dollars and he gave him back $600,000. So that just means that you can stack up a little nest egg over here. It don't even got to be $1 million. You can stack up a nest egg over here and go over there and just be royalty. That's what it sounds like to me. What could possibly happen? So that I think I'm with that type of motion. Shit, if he got 600,000 for 500, then that means he would have got $1,000 to get you 1.2 million. I'll be over there like, man, how much you want for that house? How much this acre gonna cost me right here? This acre, $100 here. Build the house. How much it cost to build my house? I'm just saying. I think that's a great experience, and I don't know, maybe anybody that's in the real estate, maybe that's a future adventure for you, or somebody that's not afraid to move out of the country. Maybe that's something you want to think about, something where instead of just moving somewhere expensive, you can stretch your money out. I mean, clearly, what's the ratio on that? If he gave him $500 and he received 600,000 in return, I don't got no calculator. I got to know the ratio on that one. What do you say, JT, the bigger figure over there doing that? Hey, I'm just saying. I heard Akon went over there. I know Stevie Wonder over there. I'm just saying. There's a lot of people that are millionaires that are Americans and moved to Africa. As a matter of fact, since you back, Brother Muhammad, I was just telling the audience about taking US dollars over there and setting up shop. What do you think about something like that? Somebody taking a nest egg and moving to Africa.
It's actually encouraged. They actually encourage African Americans to do that. To come over to do that, to invest.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that?
The money goes a long way. The only thing I would say is that if you're going to do it, get with some good people to do it, because everybody's a hustler, baby. But with that being said, it is actually absolutely encouraged for us to come over and invest, because we got a little slickster about ourselves being over here in the States, and they do too. But I would imagine when they come together, it's a different dynamic,
Right.
and that's what I've seen, talking with people who actually live there, people who actually have businesses there. And I know of people who are actually over there investing right now, who actually having a compound. Hear what I said? They're having a compound built over there. So
yeah, I would too.
It's the money. The money goes a long way. The U.S. dollar over there goes a long way, and they have the resources. It doesn't take much for you to go over and say, I want you to work for me, right? Let's hypothetically say you making $80,000 a year, and now you retired, right?
Right.
And you got a house here. You leave, you rent your stuff out, so you got your retirement check coming, and you got your rental money coming because you doing your thing. Now you over there. Oh yeah, are you living good? Yeah, you living good. Absolutely, you're absolutely living good. So if you can do that, I would say do it. That's the God honest truth because they have everything over there. They have all the resources over there. You just got to go over there and find out what you want to invest in and do it because, like the man told me, money flows over here and it's like a river. It flows. It does. And
Right.
that's in Nigeria. Ghana is a different thing, but Nigeria, yeah,
Talk to
absolutely.
us. Talk to us about Ghana. What was that? What was Ghana like?
Ghana is ahead of Nigeria as far as investors, as far as having people to come over and actually set up shop. Actually, they have a tourist uh, um, thing going on. You can go over as a tourist, and they're gonna treat you right because they want you to come over. Ghana wants you to come over. Nigeria wants you to come over, but Ghana is ahead of Nigeria as far as that part being in place for those who come to tour to see it. They got that. They got that on lock. They do, and their roads are better. The airport is better. They speak to you more. They're more pleasant. Everything I've seen in regards to me being here is the mere fact that it's yes sir, no sir, how you doing sir, good morning sir. Nothing. That's for me. Now, do you have your hustlers? As I said before, you have hustlers. You have hustlers everywhere.
Right.
So those countries on the continent is no different. But man, people, oh my God, the people, yeah, loved it.
Hey, listen,
Absolutely.
listen, listen. We're gonna do this one for the fellas because you keep saying the people, the people. We're gonna do this part right here for the fellas. Hey, they got them over there. Do they got them?
Ah,
They got them. Does Africa got them? They got the pieces on deck. They got the dime pieces. So you said a brother go over there. You might find him a little something, something. He got the
yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ludacris said that in the rap song. He said the most beautiful girls in the world is in Africa. He was like, and that's real.
Hey, I'll tell you this. The only thing that I didn't like is the fact that a lot of them don't wear their natural hair. However, a lot of them are just naturally beautiful. A lot of them. It ain't like, oh, okay, it's every now and then. It ain't like it's like all the time, And to my
That's
fellas,
right.
get your neck right.
He
Get your
said,
neck
fella,
right.
get your neck right. Get the crooks out your
Yeah,
neck because you're gonna be
man, it's yeah, real talk. Um, but yeah,
Let's go, Africa. Let's
yeah,
go, baby.
I'm telling
Passport
you,
bros right now.
you know, for real, though. All I can do is clap, brother. All I can do is clap because it's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact.
He said,
Yeah.
all I can do is clap. Salute. Salute. Woo!
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love it.
hey, I had a chance to DJ at one of the clubs though.
Is that right?
Man, look. So the DJ, hey, I I was with Tavis Smiley, now owns a radio station in LA. And I can't think of the name of it. K KBLK, I think. KBLK, something like that.
Okay.
And he had two individuals that came with us. And I'm gonna send you the link to it because they interviewed me, right? They
Okay.
interviewed me a couple of times. But with that being said, we was out one night with my boy Miles. Miles works for the radio station, so we was out. And I said, Miles, you know how to hit the mic, and Miles can throw down, right? It's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I said, look, man, we over here right now, bruh. I said, when we go to the club, we gonna break the DJ off some, and I'm gonna introduce you, right? He was like, you do that? I was like, dude, if you true to who you say you are and what you can do, yeah, we can do that. I met a guy by the name of Jay from Tennessee. He was over there. And so I said, look, Jay, we gonna go see the DJ. We're gonna break the DJ off some, and we're gonna bring up Miles on stage. Shit. Man, we went to the DJ. We said, look, this is gonna crack you up. We gonna go to the DJ. Say, look, we got Miles from the States, man. He's on tour right now. Could you bring him up? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'll bring him up. Are you gonna, he did this here, he did this here, right? Everybody know what this means. This is the universal
universal.
call.
Everybody know what this is. Cheddar, ching ching, bling bling.
Ching ching. So here I am. I'm gonna pull out this wad of my money, right?
He that's 600,000. He like, I don't want that. He said, dub, you American.
Hey, he went in his shit and pulled out a wad of hundreds.
Showed you something, huh? He like, you want to play with me?
I want to. You got American, right. American. He pulled out that. I was like, all right. So we gave him 100. Miles went up on stage. I introduced him. Miles turned it out, man. He did. He had the club popping. He did, and we loved it. He had a live saxophone player there. He was spitting it. He already had his track. Dude plugged him in. He shut it down, man. We was there like 3 a.m. I ain't been to a club at 3 a.m. in so long, but I was up. God knows I was up.
You was.
Yes, I was.
Turned up.
You don't talk offline.
Oh man. Okay. You drinking water. What did you notice any difference in the water over there? How did they water taste?
If your body ain't used to it, don't drink it.
Don't do it.
The water ain't for you. It ain't for you. Your system ain't ready for that.
Wow.
Yeah, your system isn't ready for what they drink. They good. They can drink it, and there's nothing wrong with it. But you ain't ready for it.
Wow. That sounds like a bad thing.
Well, no, you just ain't ready for it. That's all. That's why they give you all the medication you need when you travel. They give you all the stuff. They give you your shot. They give you the medicine and say, enjoy yourself. But you take this every day. You take this twice a day. You do this, do that. You'll be okay. But if you don't do it, you gonna know. you gonna know, bruh.
He said, you gonna know if you didn't follow instructions.
Absolutely. Damn. Yeah, man. And don't say, well, I'm going to go just use it to brush my teeth. No, you better get that bottled water, put it in your toothbrush, and do your thing. Do your thing. But don't call yourself, oh, I'm just going to. Nah.
He said you can't even brush. He said, nope, if you ain't, he said, well, our system ain't ready for that water.
Your system ain't ready for it. That's why they give you the medication that you take to help with that process. Absolutely.
Wow.
The showers, man. The showers was nice, bro. It was hot. I mean, they got hot flowing water. Ain't nothing. It was beautiful, but you can't be in the shower. You can't be doing that.
No.
Get out, dry off. Have a good day.
You gonna be on that toilet? You gonna be on that toilet if you do? You're gonna be on that toilet?
We had quite a few people on the toilet. yeah, man. Yeah.
But I got a cleanse, huh?
Man, look. So before we got ready to go to where we headed? Ghana. Before we got ready to go to Ghana, man, I heard the call. I heard the call. I was like, not today. Man, I took everything. Everything the doctor gave me, I took it.
He said, I
I
heard the
took it.
call.
Because we get ready to do a bus ride. What's today? Today is Tuesday. That was Saturday. Saturday. We're getting ready to do a bus ride. And we're going 3 hours. It's a bus ride, it's 3 hours. And brother, there's no toilet on the bus. Okay? It ain't that bus. No. Mm-mm. I couldn't have this malfunction happen. So
Oh shit.
I took
Okay.
everything.
Oh
Absolutely.
my God. So
Everything.
let me let's switch gears a little bit. Okay. Okay. So now okay. So now over here in America, we're talking about slavery in the transatlantic slave trade. Um from your experience being over there on the west coast of Africa, how does that claim hold up to your experience over there in Africa?
Oh, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. So over in over in Bedin, they took us to where the slave was captured and held for the Portuguese in the Americans, right? You can look this guy name up. His name is William Abbas. William Abbas. Look him up. They caught this kid at the age of like 6, and they told him they would let him go free if he brought them more slaves, and he did, and they never let him free. They sold him, but they never let him went free, and so his last living survival of the family died in 1987, and I have pictures of his grave, of his tomb. He died in 1987. His last family member, and it was amazing to go exactly to where that spot is and to walk around and see that people are still there. Okay, they're still there. I'm like, oh my God, they know what it is, and I'm like, this is just
What do you mean people are still there? What do you mean?
I mean, people walk through there. There are people still living around there. There's people still like right next door. I mean, and it's they right next door to where they actually captured, held, and sold the slaves when they came in.
Wow.
Right there. And we had when in the rooms where they kept the slaves at are still there. Okay. And we went into the rooms. They had authentic items that was kept and held. They're still in those rooms. And so I got you some pictures too.
Okay.
And I felt that. And we walked from that place to where the ships came in at. And that was an experience. And I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. Um, I wouldn't. That place touched me, but we went someplace else, and that really broke me down. But yeah, and they made the slaves walk several hundred miles a day wherever they captured them from to the ship.
Wow.
So it wasn't like, oh, here we captured you and there's the ship. It wasn't that way. What they did was they captured you inland. They went as far as 100 miles inland, captured, walked them back. Those who died, they died. Those who survived, survived. They put them there at this little spot, right, that held about 100 slaves. They waited. The canoes, the the canoes from the ship came and took the slaves back to the ships. That's how they did it. And I was like, damn, 100 miles, y'all. They walked, and the guy that was telling us exactly how it was happening had a book. He said, "This is the book. Here are some of the names that we know. these are the people, these are the families. They had it all written down. And, it's not like it's a phony thing. It's not like, oh, we was always here in America. Two things can be true at the same time.
That's right.
You know, so what we already here? Yeah, quite a few of us was already here. Did they bring slaves to America? Hell yeah, they did.
Right.
Absolutely, they did. So, in learning that part, I was like, okay, I gave me a better understanding, gave me an appreciation.
I appreciate
Go
you
ahead.
sharing that. I appreciate you sharing that because there's a lot of people that, there's a little debate, amongst what we call African Americans as far as, did we just get here from slavery, which I like to say prisoners of war myself. And where are we, originals of this land? And like you said, two things can be right at the same time. So I would encourage anybody that's listening in, won't you, take the time, do a little homework to see how could two things be right at the same time? Because Ivan Van Sertima wrote a book called They Came Before Columbus, and I think that's a good read.
Absolutely. And you got to realize too, okay, so when African Americans were protesting and in those days of in the 60s, 40s, 50s, however you want to put it, why wouldn't the Indians protesting with us? Because we're on their land, right? We're protesting on their land. Why
That's a
were
good
they
point.
not with us protesting on their land?
Right.
I mean, I just look at it, I say, yeah, two things can be right at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
We was already here,
Yeah.
and then he brought us here, and
Right.
we're always tribal. Let me tell you that we always tribal. It's tribal right now. We're always been a tribal people. And when other races understand that, that's how they get you captured. And that's how the prisoner of war thing come into play. You're absolutely right. We at war, we capture, we like, we don't want you anyway. You take them. And that's why they say, oh, black people sold each other into slavery. You were a prisoner of war. You was already fighting. That person came in and said, look, you don't want them? We'll take them. Well, here
Right.
you go. And I would tell you, go ahead.
Oh, just real quick, I don't mean to cut your wisdom. I like that point because to me, there's a clear-cut difference between being a slave and a prisoner of war. Because it's like when we say it here in America, it's like we're programmed. I don't know if it's being programmed, but we just automatically program like, oh, you was a slave. That means you come from nothing. That means you had nothing. That means you are nothing. But when you're a prisoner of war, that doesn't mean that you come from nothing. That doesn't mean that you don't have nothing or never had anything. It doesn't mean that.
It doesn't. And let me tell you, they tell you that they didn't fight back. Those people fought back. And that's a beautiful thing to hear when you're there and know that, hey, they just didn't come and just take you. Once you was given to them, because it was war, there was another fight now that you got to fight. So it wasn't like you said, oh, I just give up. No. If you see the instruments that they use to torture you with, yeah, it breaks you down and it makes you cry. They showed us the instrument that they used to seal the lips because those who was captured had began to communicate with each other. So what they did, they took their lips, put them together, and took a iron piece of metal and put holes in the lips, and they sewed the lips together. So you couldn't say nothing to put that thing on your face. That's how
Damn.
they did it. They showed it. I was like, that's some barbaric shit. Let's just be
Yeah.
honest.
That
I'm
sounds
like,
like that. That sounds like that character, that one, the man in the iron mask.
right, yes, yeah, man. I just felt, I'm like, wow, them people, you were cattle. You was cattle to them. Absolutely. I also visited that was one place we visit. Also, we visit the one everywhere we visit a place where they took the slaves to. So I went to one of the most famous ones was the castle. You know, you hear about the castle and the dungeon. That was another place. And they this one here, this spot right here touched me because they came with their religion.
Was it Christianity?
Oh man, hold on.
Wow.
Okay, so real talk. They came with that damn religion. And they fooled the people. And had the people to build this castle with a dungeon under it. And they put them in that dungeon, man.
Wow. Man.
Okay, so they
wow,
put them in the dungeon.
Real experience. Right? You good, brother? You good? Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna be all right. So they took them, they fooled them with the religion. They put them in the dungeon. After they captured them, they built their own prison. And that's where they put them at. It was the largest place where they captured. They had 5,000 slaves at this one spot. 5,000. And they had a church on top. Think of that. And you running around, oh, I'm a Christian, oh, I'm a Christian, oh, They built that shit, had five, that was the max it can hold 5,000. So you shit, you ate, and you pissed all in one spot.
Damn.
Hear what I said. You shit, you pissed, you ate all in one spot.
Wow.
And churches upstairs. Hallelujah. So what God are you praying to? Who you talking to?
Boy, I know I know some Christian people mad to hear this right now. Hey yo, facts is facts. Facts is facts.
And then they tell you, they tell you it's written. They tell you all of the denominations that took place, that had it. The Methodists was there, not the Methodists, the Catholics, the Presbyterians. Yeah, I'm a member of a Presbyterian church. Yeah, they was there. Man, yeah. They had their hand in it. Absolutely, the Presbyterian church had.
So it sounds so you said basically the whole Christian, all of Christian.
Everything we got here had their hand in it over there. Every last one of them. I'm saying it because the gentleman who was giving us the tour, he had a list, and they had, this thing, this baluster of every religion that was there, that had their hands in it. And he tell you, okay, these people had their hands in it, and they did this and they did that. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
So yeah, do I have a thing about it? I do. I do. And I'm it's something I'm wrestling with, okay? Because I'm like, here I am. I go to a Presbyterian church, and I know for a fact that the Presbyterians had a hand in slavery. So now I have to go do my research and see what was the real take on that, because somewhere along the line there was a split within the church at one time. So I got to do my own research for me, man.
Right.
And, I'm not here to sugarcoat none of it. I'm absolutely not.
Wow.
That one really got me. And they took the soil. They took the soil. They did DNA on the soil. They In the soil, there's still DNA in the soil. Okay?
Dang. Wow.
There's still blood in the soil. There's still stool and throw up in the soil. So when we walk down, they tell you it's still DNA, it's still feces, everything is still in this dirt. We have dug it up, we have sampled it, and we're telling you it's still in this dirt.
Wow.
So the walls that I touched when I went through there is the same walls that they was touching. Okay? It was bruh. It was the sun is a medium height, a medium height, and it was dark. There was no light getting in there. They had two holes. You look up, you could tell whether it's day or night. Just two holes. That's all you had. That's all the air that's coming in.
Damn.
And the doors are sealed. You're in there.
And this is a dungeon that holds 5,000 people.
Yeah, they got rooms. They got rooms that will hold. The maximum in the room was about 700, but they would stack 1,000 people in each room, right? And they will put different people from different tribes in the room, right? So you really can't speak to each other. That's how they kind of held you. And then they put the ladies over in another place. And that place held 5,000 slaves.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. And bruh,
I mean, just listening to it, it sounds horrific. And then, watching, your response to even, reliving that moment and sharing it with us, man, that's pretty deep.
Oh yeah. I didn't, bro. I'm sorry. I didn't feel that one coming on. But
oh no, it's all right. I mean,
man.
hey, I think that's good. This is all good information for people. I think this is good for everybody. Give us something to just kind of think about. And it's sad that our people, experience those things, and here we are in America where we can't seem to get along. We pull each other down. The men don't like the women don't like the men. We fight amongst each other. We crabs in a bucket. We don't trust one another. We don't, help each other grow and nurture one another. And it's just sad. It's like, I don't know. It's like, damn, did the conqueror win? I mean, damn, that's cold.
I would tell you this. It's a process. And here's the process. Only been out of Jim Crow era for 60 years. No, less than that. 1970 was the end of Jim Crow. School integration was just beginning to really take shape.
Right.
That's 70. Think about it. If you're living in rural Mississippi, rural Alabama, rural Georgia, things didn't really change that much for you. So we're talking 70s. You move into the 80s. Yeah, the cities are nice, but you still have people fighting a fight, even in the 80s. So we ain't too far away from a bad situation. I grew up in Mississippi in the late 60s, going into the 70s. We ain't that far away from a bad situation.
Right. Seriously.
So when you look at where we're at now, have we come a distance? Yeah. Do we have a long way to go? Yeah. Look at the wealth, distribution of wealth. You got a person who's white who has a high school diploma, and you have a person who's black with a master's degree. Who you think really getting the job? I mean, we just got to look at it for what it's worth, and kind of move on it and really help each other, like you said. And you hear me say this all the time. What I want for me, I want it for you too. That's coming from my heart. What I want for me, I want it for you. Now, once you screw me, I'm not going to say all black people is the same way, because no, you did that to me.
Right.
So I'm not going to mess with you no more.
Right.
So I'm going to move on. Because what I find is that we lump ourselves all together. all black people. All no, it ain't all black people. Because if I close your restaurant down, which is this has actually happened, we know it. Then where I'm going to go eat? Oh, you didn't have fish today? Oh, how you gonna run out of fish? You a restaurant? Well, hell, a lot of people came and bought it. I ran out. I just ran out. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I ain't messing with black people no more. They don't never have what you want. No, I gotta help you get to the status so you can have it all the time.
You know what? I'm glad that you talk about black business right now, because as an entrepreneur, I find it interesting that when you're starting a business, it's different when you've been in business and you got the supply and the resources to give discounts and giveaways. But I swear, when you be doing stuff, you start a business, it be like people be wanting you to like get them the discount. You're like, damn, like I just started my business, or I'm building it up. Like, you want me to just get this to you for free? If I got a restaurant, you want to be able to just come in here for free or get half off the price. And it's like, I'm just starting my business. I need all of mines.
Yep.
It's like we got a cold mentality about how we engage one another.
But that's been passed down. Everything we do usually has been passed down. You hear people all the time. You'll say this, black people always got to pull each other down. That's a mentality that's been handed down. That's why you never see people who get out of the ghetto go back.
Right.
We make poor look glamorous. We make it look, damn, they poor, but man, they know how to party. Oh, look at the cars they drive. Oh, we make poor look like it's something that you love.
Right.
Come on. That's why those who make it out never go back, because that shit ain't glamorous. It ain't. And that's another thing, even for yourself. The higher you go, those who are around you ain't gonna be around you no more, because they can't go where you go. They ain't ready to leave.
No, that's a fact.
So you gotta leave them there. If I tell you, hey man, I got $1 million, I'm finna get out of here. Come on, go with me. Oh man, we gotta leave, bro. We can't stay here.
Right.
Because if we come back, we gonna get killed. We need bodyguards when we come back. We just can't roll up on the block no more. Nah. That's why they call it the project.
So let me see. You about to open up a whole nother we about to open up a whole nother combo. I'm gonna keep it on Africa right now. You about to open up a whole nother combo. Okay, so with that being said, your experience being in Africa, being through, you say you've been to Nigeria, you've been to Ghana, and where else did you say?
Kenya.
Okay, Kenya. So based on what we're talking about right now at this moment, did you get a vibe of togetherness being over there? Did you get a vibe of those people being what we keep talking about? We got to work together. We got to build together. Are they together like that?
They have a system. And they work their system. I'm just going to be honest with you. They have a system. They're still tribal, but they have a system, and they work it. They work it, brother. They work it. And do they have issues? Hell yeah, they got issues over there. Absolutely, they do. But are they moving forward? Yes, they are. They're moving forward. Could it be better? Yes. Is it getting better? Yes. You got the rural part of Africa. No matter what country you're in, you still got that rural part.
Right.
And it's meeting the modern, okay? In their building. So you're having this clash. Like, bam. Because I seen cows on the side of the freeway. Just like, what the hell y'all doing here? We was already here. Y'all building this freeway, bro. You messing with my grass.
Right, right.
So you got these two cultures that are actually coming together. Really, real talk. There's gonna be some issues, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Absolutely, they're gonna rise up once they pull it together.
No, go ahead.
I'm saying once they put it together and they rise up, there's nothing, absolutely nothing that anybody's going to be able to do with any of those countries over in Africa because they already realize that they got the resources. They know that. That part they know. Okay? The ideal is now is for them not to just get bribed out of it. Hey, you take this, I'm gonna give you this, and then you go do that. If they can stop taking the bribe, when they begin to like weed out those people
I was just
and
gonna
those
say, yeah, you gotta weed them out.
Africa gonna be all right. From what I've actually been, I've touched, and what I'm actually seeing now, they're gonna be okay because they got the clubs, they got the DJs, they got the African beats. They don't need anything from nobody else. They got the minerals, they got the workers, they got the people who can do the work, and they can hack any damn thing. They can sell you anything, and they got clothing, they got the material. They got the braiders. $55 to get your hair done over there if you're a female.
What?
We had females on the tour. They was like, I got to get my hair redid. So at the resort, they make phone calls. I'm telling you, man, you get
Wow.
anything you want. You can get anything you want. So the girls was like, hey, we got to get our hair done. Boom. They made a phone call. The braiders came. How much? 55 American.
Sisters, y'all, anybody, ladies that's following this show tonight, y'all hear that?
They
55
did it.
bucks. Ain't no
55
250,
American.
300, 500,
No, it
$55.
broke them up. Got it done. Got it done, man. Got it done.
Wow. Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. So,
Absolutely.
okay. So they got cars. They got the same cars, you say, right?
Hey,
They got
hey, I'm gonna tell you this. We're in the middle of nowhere. When I say nowhere, it's dirt roads. Dirt roads. We're on a bus, middle of nowhere. Man, they got cars on stilts and they didn't pull the whole damn engine. I'm like, where you gonna get parts from?
oh my
But they
God.
but they working on them. So you tell me. And they fix the shit. They fix it. And these are
Wow.
modern cars. I'm talking about 2010, 15, 2007, 2000. We talking about 2000. We ain't talking about no 80.
Right.
And they got them on blocks. They done pulled the engine. I'm looking. I'm like, how you gonna pull the engine? Ain't no store. Ain't no O'Reilly's. Ain't none of that.
So would
But
you so anybody that would say, nah, man, I don't want to go to Africa, that continent and visit no countries, they all poor and they all dirty. that's the damn lie, right?
it's a lie. It's a lie. I say that because do they have ghettos? Yes. Do America have ghettos? Yes. There are
Hell
places
yeah.
in the United States I'm not going to go. I'm not going. And it's unsafe. And they have places like that. However, if I had some money, I mean some money about myself, and could I go? I can go. Absolutely. I can go and get me a house built away kind of outside of the city a little bit to what they call the suburbs. And they do have them. Let me tell you that. They got them. And I would be okay. I come in the city, get what I gotta get, have a little party, do that, and I'm going back about my business.
Did you eat
Yeah.
did you eat any fruit while you was out there?
Oh man, look, some real coconuts, right? I'm talking about the shit that falls from the tree. You gotta be careful because it hit you in the head. Real talk, real talk. So the guys, they got the coconuts, right? And they'll come up. When you thirsty, man, they come out with this samurai sword, clank, 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 chop it up, pour you a whole gold glass of it, cut it open, and you can eat the inside. And then you break them off a few dollars. And they go about their business. And then they have other fruits. They watermelon is another thing that's over there. It must be inherited because I was killing it and they was killing it too. You know.
Does it taste
Um
better? Does the fruit taste better?
they got a lot of seeds in it. So you know, like with anything, you got to get the right one, the real sweet ones. But they had them, and your brother Muhammad, I was in it. I ain't lying, I was in it. And of course, and they have the same thing that we have here. They have it there.
So you can
Don't buy it
actually,
off the street though.
he said, don't buy it off the street. So a person could actually move from America to you know, somewhere in Africa and actually not have no drop off as far as entertainment and lifestyle and
None. You gonna come up. You gonna come up.
he said, you gonna come up.
You coming up, baby. You coming
Wow.
up.
Wow. That's amazing. So one more thing. Two more things. One, would you, because I know you've been to Europe too. Would you recommend Europe or Africa? A Europe vacation or African vacation?
I would have done the African vacation first if I'd had the money, but I didn't have it then, so I did Europe. But I gotta go. I gotta go back to Africa because Nigeria is huge. I only was able to do so much last week being in Nigeria. I was only able to do so much with that time that I had there. We was there for a whole week in that particular country. So now we're going someplace else. But I was only able to do that there, and I had a ball and I enjoyed it. But I would like to see more of Nigeria, and I would say yeah. If I had my choice again, I'm coming back. I am. I'm coming back to the continent.
That's right.
Absolutely. I am.
That's right. That's right.
Every, like I said, I couldn't everything black. From the bellsman who take your bags up to your room, to the person at the front desk, to your taxi cab. You want your hair did, you need a haircut, you need your toes done, uh, you name it. And I'm not doing this. I ain't doing none of that. I'm not worried about being pulled over.
Ain't no racial profiling out there.
No. You got to actually break the law. Your ass going. You broke the law. Period. You know. But yeah, absolutely, bro.
Okay.
Now I got this for you, and I know you got to go. In Benin, when we was visiting the people that lived on the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was one white guy. He was already there. They have a hotel, but it's like living outside, right? But they got the net over the bed. You do have your own restroom in there. But they doing their own thing, you know. I mean, he had his own room. It's like I think they got like 10 rooms. You can have your own room with your own restroom in it, and they have a bar, right? So we at this little hotel spot. He's the only white guy, but he's from Paris. So he kind of speaks the language because you know the French have had their feet over there for a long time. So a lot of people speak two languages. Everybody speaks two languages. And I asked him, I said, well, why you here? Why you here? You're the only white guy. Why you here? Oh, I'm a wine taster. I travel to taste different tastes of wine and stuff. These people don't make no wine. Here's my thought. Now, here's my thought. You over here to taste the liquor that they got. You're going to buy it. You're going to take it back. You're going to do your little thing to it. And you're going to say, look what I made.
Right.
See? Look what I made.
Right.
And now you have taken something from them. That's where you originally got it from.
Right.
You divvied it up and this is what you calling, and it's worth $2,000 a bottle.
Right. Wow.
When I know I only paid 10 shillings, which is like 10 shillings, like maybe $5.
Wow.
And you're
Yeah.
the only one.
Well, sounds about right to us. Those are the right those are the right, ladies and gentlemen. That sounds about right to us. Brother Muhammad, I want to thank you for coming on tonight and definitely sharing that experience. I hope that everybody watching was able to take something from this, and maybe it's going to motivate you to go if you were already thinking. Maybe you never thought about going, but now maybe it gives you something to think about. We did have some confirmation about the transatlantic slave, what they call the slave movement. So there's definitely some validity there. I think it was a good informational piece. I think we got to kind of start. I think that's a good thing. I think more people should go to Africa. I know everybody want to go to Europe and go to Mexico and go to the Caribbean, and not to say that those places are not great places to go and visit and travel, but I think we got to move past this stigma of thinking of Africa as just like less than, and
What they show you on TV ain't necessarily Africa, bro.
it ain't necessarily real. Right.
If you want it, you can get it, but it ain't necessarily real. I didn't want to do no safari. I didn't go there for no safari. I didn't go there to see no animals. I go to the zoo to see that. Right. I wanted to be with the people, and I've had that opportunity. I will continue to cherish that moment. I got video film that's out the yang yang.
Right.
And we're gonna have to talk offline too.
Yeah, we're gonna talk offline. But before we go, fellas, we're gonna do this one more time. Hey, Brother Muhammad, so they got him out there, right? They got him. He clapped again, like that's all you can say is bravo. God damn it, bravo, Africa, bravo. I heard that. Salute to Africa for that one. All right. So with that being said, I love y'all, man. Y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you again, Brother Muhammad, for coming on, and I look forward to having you on once again when we get something else for you, sir.
All right.
All right, now. Peace.
Peace.